me back.
It's great. It's great to have you back. Let me just make sure that everything is working okay in this stream. We had a fantastic stream yesterday. Let me just see. Is that working good? We're working now. Yeah, cool. So I'm just going to do that again. Hannah, welcome again. They missed my amazing intro of you because there's a little galah in the machine. I think we're connected properly now, but I called you designer extraordinaire and welcomed you back.
And I will gladly take that and use that as my voice message.
Yes.
Voicemail.
Awesome. I was going to say thank you so much for joining us again. Now that we properly are live, I've had a couple of audio and technical issues before, so just that's why that's what I'm blaming everything on. Starting a minute late, and hopefully all the audio is coming through okay. There might be some music and all that sort of stuff. So, but anyway, Hannah, more importantly, we can see and hear you, and that's critical when you are the guest on Adobe Live. We had an awesome stream yesterday. That was lots of fun going through the Riso print stuff in Photoshop. Audience, if you missed it or you're watching this on replay, you can go and catch that on YouTube on replay and go check it out. It's really, really cool. Great step-by-step guide. Had a lot of fun going through the channels and textures and things like that. It's really quite a lot of fun. And is this something, because you said you were a printer, is this something that have you ever done printing for Riso print? I can't remember if you said you had or you hadn't yesterday.
I haven't. No. So I over researched it just to make sure I knew a little bit about what I was talking about.
Nice.
I've done a lot of full process printing and stencil making, screen printing and stuff. And it's a kind of a similar process. We talked about that yesterday, the actual process of it. It's kind of like making your own screens out of rice paper. It's perforated with little holes, wrap it around the drum in the machine and it gets kind of pushed through and you make the prints that way.
Yeah.
No, but I haven't. But I do have a couple of examples of Riso print to show. And a friend of mine, an illustrator, does a lot of Riso printing on her stuff as well. So I thought I'd give that a little show.
Oh, cool. Let's check it out. We'll jump across. And this is your website as well, which I don't think we showed yesterday. We might have showed your Instagram or something, but this is your website. Very cool.
Yeah. Double Hannah. So this is just my work. I'm a designer extraordinaire, allegedly.
Yes. As heard on Adobe Live.
I just love color. So this is just on Pinterest. I grabbed a couple new examples today. I showed a couple yesterday, but it's just this really grainy textural printing style, lots of fun, lots of overprint. The opacities vary with the inks and stuff, and they kind of mix together, so you get a lot of really fun grainy effects. And then, I saw this pop up on Instagram just before. So this is my friend Sam, who's an illustrator, and this is just so cute. But I love all those textures and stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a really fun, playful way of creating some artwork.
Nice. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. So yesterday we went through how to do that in Photoshop. And so this is kind of what we went over yesterday, which is kind of a different approach to the format. So we're really looking at breaking down those, the screens, the colors, layering them up, making kind of a duotone, having layers, dimensions to that, and looking at how that ink interacts in that way. It's really grungy and stuff. I love Photoshop, but it feels a lot less intuitive than the kind of more structured format of Illustrator.
Yeah.
So today we'll be looking at how to do the same thing in Illustrator.
Nice. Lovely.
So,
yeah. I thought yesterday was really cool. Kind of one of those things where it's you really have to do it step by step, which I know I've said a couple of times now. But it's great when you can watch someone else do it. And I'm not saying you made any mistakes, but you kind of have to go, oh, actually, if I'm not selected on this channel when I copy and then I do this, then it's not gonna do it right. But there's nothing visual to really show you that. So it's a great step-by-step guide. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and it's once you nail that kind of procedure of it, you can then go through and do it again. And it's tricky, but that's kind of what gives you that really nice effect at the end of the day. It's not just click a button, here we go. It's thinking about how you're going to combine all those colors. You can really pump up the grain on it, make it really give the half tones a bit more, which I think is really fun because you can tailor it to the output that you're looking for, essentially. And today we're kind of looking at a similar thing. So it's a little bit more uniform, but we're still playing with those elements of overprint. We've got some half tones in here. If I can manage it, if we get there in time, we're going to do some gradients, because there's lots of gradients in Riso printing, which I just think is the most fun. Like if I could live in the world of Riso gradients, I would. It's just so much fun.
That's awesome.
So especially this one here, like they use a lot of like bold colored inks. It's kind of like spot colors. And so you can get some really fun punchy effects that you can't get with like the 4-color CMYK printing. Yeah, so we're going to kind of lean into that and figure out how we can turn this Riso effect into something you can use in a digital space. So obviously, yeah, you can print it. You'd probably end up printing it CMYK. You would end up converting it. But the goal is to kind of create something that's a digital output.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. And so we looked at these sort of different techniques like ink trapping, misregistration and stuff. We're going to lean into that, the overprint. And I thought I would just like do a really, really quick recap of these textures that we did yesterday for the Photoshop, because we're going to reuse those today in Illustrator. So we're not going to start from scratch. We did it yesterday. You can watch the step-by-step from the stream yesterday. But essentially, it's a 1500 by 1500 square in Photoshop. I've chucked on some filters. I've converted it to a smart filter so that you can play around with those settings. And the filters that I used is reticulation and glass for this grainy effect. So that gives us that really nice, like even coverage of ink, but it's really light and the paper's kind of coming through. And this one here is our half tone to kind of put on top, add some depth. And we've done half tone. And then the glass. And the glass just kind of distorts it and gives it a more organic feeling. And then from that point, we saved it as a pattern swatch for the Photoshop version. For Illustrator, for what we're using right now, we just export it as a JPEG at 1500 by 1500, so that we can then start using it in Illustrator. And I really want to close Photoshop right now so my computer doesn't crash. So did anyone have any questions about that?
Well, if anyone throws any questions in, we can pick them up as we go along. But yeah, there's a lot more detail, and you literally do it step by step. In the previous video, I'll track that down and I'll share that in chat as well, so anyone watching can go and kind of check it out in detail. Yeah,
and we can open Photoshop. I just I don't want to roll the dice on it.
Yeah.
So this is our artwork that we're working with today, and which is coming up to Halloween. So I felt like I had to kind of do a skull or something spooky, but it's not spooky at all.
I like it. I kind of want this cup. Like I want this to be like a coffee cup or something. Would be really cool.
Yeah,
I know it's a vase
cool, right?
in this case, but definitely makes me think I want a skull coffee cup. Mine's just ducks.
I'm on board. Oh, a duck?
Yeah, it's like a popular, I'm sure people might have seen this before. It's just like kind of little duckies. Where are we?
Yes.
But it's really hard to find a good cup for a piccolo that I have at home. It's a little bit more than a piccolo. It's something between like a piccolo and a like flat white. And I found this at like a recycling center down the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not one of those. I'm not like a thrifty person or anything. But I was like, a little duck cup. That looks awesome. It was $1, and it's my favorite cup. There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, it reminds me of my grandma, because she had cups with the same...
With those ducks on it? Yeah, so did
exactly.
My nana had the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
Also, you called me a hipster yesterday, and I feel like you're in that boat, right? You're a hipster too.
Maybe. I meant it in a very endearing way, not the pejorative
I mean, it's the truth.
way.
I cannot deny. I was just hit with the truth right in the face, and I had no choice but to accept it. So I'm going to open up a new document because we want to start from scratch. And I'm going to paste in our artwork. And the first thing I'm going to do is just create a little color palette for myself to make it easier to grab these colors swatches when I need them.
Nice.
These are all based on standard Riso inks. So you can look it up. They're spot colors, but you can also find the hex codes, like the converted hex codes for them.
Right.
So that you can design your artwork kind of in the way you want it to look, and then send it to print labeled appropriately.
Right.
So we're going to grab these, and I'm just going to add it to my swatches.
It's been so long since I've printed something. Is the hex code something that you would send to your printer?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just for use, like being able to visualize what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have kind of a reference for yourself.
Cool. All right.
I think with Riso, they ask, again, I haven't printed Riso, but my understanding is they ask for grayscale separated. So a version grayscale as a PDF of fluoro pink, and then the other version, the separated version, like titled violet, but they're all grayscale.
Oh,
but
okay.
my advice, having worked in a print shop, is just ask the
talk to the printer
shop what they want.
My gosh.
And then
totally.
do that.
Yeah, totally. I didn't even know that was a thing that you could do as a student. I remember graduating, and then someone was like, just call the printer and ask them how they want the file. And I'm like, God, you can do that?
Yeah, it's like
it's highly recommended.
It feels like a cult or something. Like if you get it wrong, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
But
and I remember sending something
like,
to print, and then the printer called me and sort of said, "Oh, this is. I'm sure you don't actually want it this way. You need to send me this." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Like, it's like, yeah, it's my job. Like, I'm not going to print 1,000 of something that's going to like look terrible. I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. You're the best."
They're sworn to silence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just added those to my switches panel. I just came up here and went add selected, just to save me dragging them all in one at a time. And then I will grab these and chuck them in a new folder. It's called Riso ink. For reference, it just makes it a lot easier to kind of deal with the actual colors on the fly. And the first thing I thought we would do, so we're gonna I left a little crack behind. Oh, that sounded terrible. I left a little bit up here behind. That's not what I meant. So the first thing I'm going to do is like kind of deal with the skull bit of it, because it's got a few elements that we treat a little bit differently. What we're going to do is, like, it's nice and geometric, but we would like to get it looking a little bit crunchier, a little more like organic, I guess.
Yeah. And
just get like it kind of, all those little bits add up. And you go, oh, yeah, I'll buy it. There's enough information there to tell me that it's an authentic print that I'll buy, what you're selling. I get it.
Nice.
So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that all of my shapes are expanded. So it doesn't really work with line work. So these are all expanded lines.
Right.
Shapes. And then the skull shape is the shape as well. I'm going to select them all, and I would like to roughen them. So I've gone with that selected, effects, distort, transform, roughen. It's a bit, that's Halloween.
That's, spooky.
Just going to keep it, just keep it low and go corner, because you get those like weird where it like blows out on the edges, like really rounded. Do you know what I mean? When you go smooth. So you've got to be careful. What do you think? I feel like that's like kind of working for all of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty chunky, but okay. And this is a really important step that if you forget it, then you're kind of going to backtrack and start again. Once you've done that, you want to expand your shape. So we went from, if I go outline mode, undo, we've got straight edges, but it looks roughened. Back into outline mode, which is Command Y, and I'll just redo that. So expanding it turns it into a shape with like 1 billion anchor points.
Oh, right.
But that way, now that's our finalized shape. It doesn't have that effect applied in the appearance
Because
panel.
that's basically a filter,
anymore.
right? Like over the top of the shape. It's essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And so if I undo that and you come in here, you're right. Yeah, totally. It's like a live filter and you double click it and then you can go and mess around with it. So that's the advantage of keeping it as a live effect versus expanding. But if you forget to expand it, then you realize you get to go back and do it again. Like I got to do a lot of times figuring this out. Yeah. But I think this is, it's really nice for just giving it that like more organic type of look. Now we are going to, so this is ready for us to then apply some effects to, but we need to kind of figure out what the effects are that we're going to apply. So I'm going to go Shift Command P, which is going to ask me to place, and we're going to start with my grain. So I've got the JPEG here and I'm just going to place that in my document. And you can take images and put them into your swatches panel and then they're applied as patterns. But the first thing you need to do, like if you just tried to do that now, it would just be like, no girl, like get out of here. That's not my job. You've got to embed it in the file. So instead of it being something linked where you can say resave it under the same name and then it asks you to update the link, you come into links, which I think is like window links. Up in this little hamburger here, you can embed the images and now it kind of lives in there. So if you update it where it's saved, it won't update here anymore. But it's really good, just as a side note, when you're selling like digital products and stuff, if you want to embed images without providing links for them, or you're providing a document and you don't want to have to go through the entire process of like maybe it's just a reference or something, providing that links folder, you can just embed it. So now we can drag it into our swatches and that's our pattern right there.
Nice.
And I mean, you can rename that to, you can. I'm not going to do it. But you can rename that so that when you hover over it, you know what it's called if you've got a few things going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to grab our halftone as well and do the same thing. So with that selected, head into the link, hamburger, embed. And that way you're able to drag it into your swatches panel and use it as a pattern.
Nice.
We'll just chuck that over there. So now we're going to apply this pattern to this skull shape. So I'm going to jump into the appearance panel, which is like, I don't think it's underrated anymore. There's a lot of tutorials about the appearance panel, the text effects you can do with it. It's just really ridiculously fun. Like I did a text effect where I had macaroni and cheese as like the pattern inside the text, and it's live editable text.
Right.
I was like, this is I'm getting paid for this. This is great.
I think you might have used the appearance panel a bit in a stream that we did together, or you did and I watched, where you're doing the borders or the line drawing. Didn't you use it a bit there?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
I use it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty radical. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think I remember you using
but if you come down here, and I'm just trying to think of what the stream is, and I just can't.
It was like a crocodile at the back, like it was like creating the custom brushes. I don't know why I'm doing this. The custom brushes, because there were 3 steps. It was like whatever was in the middle, there was whatever was at the back, and whatever was at the front. And yeah, very cool. Hot dog. I remember the hot dog really well.
Yeah, the hot dog brushes.
Cool.
I get paid to do this stuff.
Yeah, like, totally.
Sometimes I just think, what?
What is life?
Okay, you just got to be a silly goose, and then things work out, I think.
Yeah, that's good philosophy in life. Yeah. Yeah,
that's all I got. So we're going to go ahead and click on our pattern swatch, and what it's going to do, let me go back. Let me just make sure that I'm on track. I'm staying focused. So we're in the appearance panel with our shape selected, I'm going to click into the fill. So it's important to have that fill selected. I'll toggle down, and because we've saved it to our appearance panel, we can select that and it fills that shape with the pattern that we've dragged into the panel. So I think that looks pretty good, but we're going to look at maybe scaling it a little bit. So I want to make it a little bigger, but I don't want to make the actual object bigger. So I'm going to toggle off that one. And if we just kind of like, let's say we go 200. Did that move? We go back to 100. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, let's scale it up to 200. There we go. Cool. And it's kind of giving that, I think it's too much. So we'll undo that. Sorry, I got a bit too silly then.
It probably depends quite heavily on how far people are going to see it, right? When you're not zooming in and out. Like you kind of have to decide at the start when you're dealing with textures. I found this with halftones. I did this once and I was like, oh, wow, it looks amazing when I zoom in. There's so much detail. And then when I posted or sent it to someone, you can barely see it. And I was like,
no.
I should have definitely bumped it. I was zooming in too much.
Yeah.
Because I was zooming in and looking at the details that you just don't get from a flat JPEG or PNG or something at the end. That was my rookie mistake.
I just love that you're like, they're definitely going to stand like an inch away from this and examine every single. Of course they are.
Zoomed
it's
in
a skull vase.
Yeah,
they're going to have to do it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I think that looks all right.
Nice.
Now we're going to give it some color. So this is the bit where it's kind of the procedural step by step, but once you've got it, we're going to save it into the graphic styles. That just disappeared from my brain. Graphic styles panel, so that we can just click that graphic style and it will then apply it to other shapes that we want to use. So we're going to go down here to add new fill. Make sure it's on top. I'm going to just add a black fill. It doesn't look too crash hot, but it means that we're kind of starting from a color and then we edit the colors along the way. So we'll pull it under the stroke. There's no stroke here, but I just like to keep it organized. Like I'm a silly goose, but I'm not that silly. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you.
So the next step is to click on the opacity for this fill. And we're going to change the blending mode to screen. And you can see we've got that texture back again. So what it does is it kind of leaves the light parts and applies the color swatch to the darker parts in the pattern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so like that looks pretty cool, but you can see we're not getting that overprint effect. Mm-hmm. So with the shape still selected, back in the appearance panel, down here at the bottom, so this is not attached to that fill. It is basically like the entire shape. We're going to click on opacity and we're going to multiply that because that gives us our overprint effect. So we're kind of applying different blending modes to different elements to get that impact. And I'm gonna push this down to 70 because the Riso printing, the inks are they're not too heavy. Like you wouldn't print at 100% of a color because then the paper's not going to handle it and it's going to jam in the machine and the printer will cry and you'll go to printer jail. Like no one wants to end up in printer prison. Yeah. So like no one wants that. So we're going to go to 70 and now when we kind of drag that out, we've got that multiply effect. Cool. So that we're happy with that, except the color, obviously. We're going to go into graphic styles and I'm just going to click the plus button to add a new graphic style. And now when we have our other shapes selected, not there. So I've got the other shapes selected. I'm going to come into the graphic styles and I'm just going to click that. I find it interesting that that's, so it should have kind of inherited the texture as well, but it doesn't look like it has. So I'm just going to go undo that. And we'll look at the, yeah, it should work. It's not grouped or anything. So with that selected, jump in here, hit that. Maybe we just try one at a time. It's a bit touchy when you're working with groups. It doesn't quite like to.
Right.
Yeah. I actually don't know why that's not working. But
Kind of made a rectangle around it, around everything, right? Like.
Yeah, it's like overdraw. So it's like, I don't know, do you call it artifacting or something?
Oh yeah.
That's
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you zoom in, it's like it just disappears.
Yeah.
And it is like it's not intensive, but it like there's a few processes going on that are interactive with each other. So I think that inside of Illustrator, it's just like, let me figure it out. Oh, okay, I got there, kind of thing. And we'll see a bit later on as well. That kind of applies to the way it looks. Ends up with this like black border around it. And so there's a way we can kind of fix that when we're ready to export as well. It's a little bit finicky, but all right. So we're just gonna create a new swatch and see if we can make this graphic style work. If not, we'll just keep going. It does work. I promise it seriously does work. Yeah, that works. Okay. It doesn't like grouped things. So maybe we go, oh, that's interesting. Okay. I'm not actually entirely sure, but we're going to just make sure everything's ungrouped and then we'll try again. Okay, something was grouped.
Nice.
So now we've got the texture. Cool. So it's looking like, all right, I get it. We need some color. Come into the swatches. No, we won't. Scratch that. We'll select our shape. We'll come into the appearance panel. And so I've got this fill on top, which is our color. You don't want to just like change the color like this because then you lose all your effects.
Right.
Select that. Appearance panel. Select that top fill. So make sure that top fill is selected. Toggle down. And here's where our swatches are super handy. So you can see it's applied that color. You can kind of see that like annoying faint line around the edge, but we can get rid of it.
Pretty faint on, no, it's pretty faint on my screen if it's coming through, but it might not quite be coming through as clear.
We'll see if we get it happening with our other colors. So we'll come to appearance. Yeah, it hates that I've selected more than that. And I'll just pop my fluoro pink. So all of our kind of like outlines are in that pink.
And that works fine when you've selected more than one, but it was behaving funny when everything was grouped.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, definitely. So,
oh yeah, I can see why it would put a box around it now.
It's like
when you group stuff. That happens a couple of times doing other things in Illustrator where it's actually the box is invisible. It's like when you select something, there's a marquee rectangle around it. It often treats the shape as the entire box of things, but hides it from you. So when you're doing this kind of like hacky kind of stuff, it can go, oh, okay, you want this whole selection? Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's doing its best, like we all are, right? Can you blame it?
Not at all. Fine.
I think this might have been in a group as well. Silly. I should have, on brand. Silly goose. I should have ungrouped them all to begin with just to make sure. But that's okay because our gradient, not our gradient, our graphic styles is working, which is good. So jump in, apply the graphic style, come in to the appearance panel, change the fill. All right, it's gravy.
Nice. Looks really cool.
There we go. And we've got that overprint. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start, I mean, I'd probably like rip through and do the whole artwork, but we're going to, while we've got this isolated, we're just going to look at moving a couple of elements around so that we're getting that like misregistration effect. Oh, not like that. So we'll kind of shift shift it just like a little, maybe we'll come down. Just so it looks a little bit more organic. And these like...
Funny little guy.
Ooh. Yeah. What's that doing? I'm not sure. Just delete that and hope for the best. Okay, that's good. Oh, it might have just come out of here or something.
Another one over there. Yeah.
There we go. All right. So that's what we're kind of looking like. Nice. And you can kind of like lay your inks where you've got the pink just printed directly onto the solid light pink shape. Or maybe you could do some ink trapping like this, so we could like find out what that looks like. Or we could do that misregistration type of effect. So basically I want to take these shapes. I'm going to copy the eyes and the nose, select the skull background and then the eyes and the nose, hit Shift M, hold down the Option key and just remove those shapes from that.
Yeah.
And then I will Shift Command V to paste in place the bit that I copied.
That's a good way to do that, like that.
Yeah. But if you do like in InDesign, if you go Shift Option Command V, it pastes in place. But in Illustrator, that pastes on every single artboard. And if you do that and you're like working close and you paste on every single artboard and then like 20 minutes you zoom later, 20 minutes later you zoom out and you're just like, oh my God, I've ruined my entire life.
Yeah. It's Command F, isn't it? In Illustrator? Command F?
Command F is paste.
Paste in place, no?
Oh, maybe there's an easier way to do it. Paste in place. Shift Command.
Oh, Shift Command V. No, sorry. Probably
paste in front is Command F.
Oh, that's what I've been doing.
But I never use that, and I should. I'm always like using the bracket keys to like bring it to the front.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
still do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you know. Okay. I feel better. All right. So I feel like that looks pretty cool, but I think we could add a bit more dimension to the eyes and the nose because it's supposed to be like a darker part, right? Like it's the illusion of depth as much as we can get there with this type of illustration. So I've copied that again where it is, and I'm going to go Shift Command V, paste in place. You can see that we've then got that ink laid on top of itself, which is cool. But we might come back into the appearance panel, head down to the fill, and use this halftone pattern instead. And it kind of adds another dimension to it. We zoom out. It's kind of looking
cool halftone as well. It's like kind of bleeding, like the ink is bleeding a little bit into the paper, like the way that's happening.
It's really pretty crunchy. I feel like I could have zoomed it, like maybe it could be a high res or something, but you're right. Like how close are people looking? If you're posting it on Instagram or something, they're not like copy, screenshot, put it into zoom in and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's done it again.
Right? Like it's getting compressed into a JPEG. So.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So like just a little bit, maybe I'll shift those just a bit down, but just everything's a little bit misaligned to give it that more authentic Riso look. And then we will grab these kind of elements. Oh, we lost some lines.
As long as they're not cracks.
We don't want to lose any of that crack. No. Here we go. So, we might just do one flower and then work on this one because I really do want to show how to use those gradients, which is just like, it's cool. It's like, oh, I didn't really think this would work in Illustrator, but it is working and it's awesome. So we'll, all right, we made life easy. Did we? Apparently not. We need to ungroup all. I made life easy, but then I go ahead and make life
then you made it hard again.
Yeah. So we will apply. So it's getting really like windy and stormy outside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, here. Like, is it?
No, it rained a little bit yesterday afternoon. It's been threatening to. It's been quite warm here on East Coast. Hannah's a couple of hours north than I am. And yeah, so it's like same, but different weather. Like you can kind of cop things coming inland that just missed us and vice versa. But it's been very warm here the last couple of days, which usually means could storm any moment.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Definitely
I like the use of the word threatening because that's exactly how it's very impressive.
I have 3 loads of washing on the line, so
you
and 2 live streams, so fingers crossed. If you see me run out, no, I wouldn't do that. It could ruin my afternoon. So, anyway, back to the file.
So I've got this like shape, and yes, we could do each bit individually, but we do actually want to keep this all together. So to avoid having to group it, and then it's like, I'm not working. You're not paying me to do that. I'm going to head up to object, yes, and then all the way down to compound path, and we're going to make a compound path. And what that is telling Illustrator is, hey, just think of this as one shape, even though it's separated.
Right.
It's not a group, it's a single shape. And then that works. And we can go ahead and add our colors in. So we got a yellow. We've got, you know what, I might just put that out and see if that helps. A purple. This is black. We'll leave that black. And then we also need to do pink. All right. And I didn't do the roughen kind of effect, but I feel like we'll just keep rolling with what we've got for the sake of time.
Sure. Yeah.
And then we can kind of do that. Oh, interesting. Ink trapping thing here where we copy the pupil, Shift M, pull that out, Shift Command V, paste in place. We might send it to the back. And then what I'll do is, so that ink trapping is, let's pull it to the front. Interesting. I'm just going to double check that is, yeah, okay, that's right. The circle kind of is enlarged so that even if it is slightly off, like that, you're still kind of getting that coverage, because maybe you don't want that kind of impact on your little eyeball.
Right.
So we'll leave it like that. Maybe we can grab that and like, oh, not that much. Shift that up a little or something. All right. And so we'll move on to this one. We're going to pop that. We're going to ungroup it. Pop the graphic style on it. Head into the appearance. We'll change this color to a blue. And we'll just ignore this little line for now. All right, so we want to add a gradient to this one. So we're going to open, I think this is probably a better approach, is we will create a gradient here. So maybe blue to, I don't know, pink. Is that too much? Maybe it's too much. Purple. Okay, cool. And then we will, okay. Yes, new gradient swatch. It's fine. So with this selected now, back into the appearance panel, we can select our gradient swatch. Nice. And it applies as a gradient. I'm going to hit the G key on the keyboard to bring up my gradient options. And then, so we're adding basically some shading is the idea. Like random gradients are fantastic, but we're thinking like, let's add some shadow.
I mean, you have, like, by doing it this way, by the way that you set it up, you can change the color on the fly and change the direction of the gradient with texture in Illustrator, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like there's a lot of like fun gradient effects you can get using like halftone. I think it's halftone filter and stuff. But this is super nice too. Like this is giving you that grainy effect. You can kind of scale it up, scale it down, play with it. It's more flexible in a way, like it is a raster-based thing at the end of the day. But like, yeah, what's this for? Like, I'm not going to put this on a billboard. And even if you were, you'd probably get away with it. So we're going to copy this, paste in place, and change up the pattern fill to the halftone.
I think there might be a couple of people that are on board with like me kind of saying, hey, that's kind of crazy that you can use an Illustrator, because Philip typed dude what? So I hope that was like a mind blown what, not like I don't understand what's happening. And Uriel as well in Behance chat saying learning so much. Thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. Like this is the sort of stuff that you like don't think Illustrator can do. But Hannah's showing like a really interesting approach to doing this. And it feels like one of those things where you sort of set it up and then once you're set up, you've got that really solid foundation. You could create like a whole suite of artwork, like kind of based on this.
Yeah, totally. Like you systemize it in a way where you can then have that flexibility at the end of the day. Yeah, that's totally it. And so, all right, we might look, let's just copy the other flower. And you like doing it in Photoshop, you do get some like really fun, chunky types of effects. But like me personally, my brain, it just loves the security of like anchor points and being able to change things and getting the color correct. And so like, I think there's, especially with the photo, like I did a photo yesterday because that is something that you could split it and then turn it into bitmaps and then bring it into Illustrator and then recolor the bitmap in Illustrator. But that's like, you could just stay in Photoshop and do the same thing anyway. Like there's no reason to use Photoshop. And so it's just like photos work better. Well, you know, in Photoshop.
The shop of photos, yeah.
Yeah, the shop of photos, that's right. So yeah, it's like different things, but you could also definitely take this artwork and do the same process in Photoshop if you wanted that really chunky, messy effect where we're not getting a lot of that, you know, interaction and spillover from the edges and stuff. I'd have to go in manually and like change those edges if I wanted it to be like chunky and like that's what the roughen is good for, but it's still geometric in a way. Like it's still a bunch of anchor points and some math is going on. Yeah.
Totally.
So we've got our flowers and we could maybe copy this. I'll send that to the back because we want those lines on the front. Come in here and just play with some, not that, into appearance. Play with some, interesting, maybe because I have multiple selected. I don't know. That purple looks like a bad choice to me. Let's go with the pink. Okay, this is not, here we go. We're going to change it to a halftone. And then we're going to change the color because you can get those like colors interacting with each other.
Right.
I mean, let's stick with yellow because, dude.
Oh, it looks nice.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not like restricted to the Riso palette either. You can use basically whatever your brand colors, whatever you're trying to do. So, but let's keep it with the yellow, and that you can see that that's like an overprint. So you've run that through the machine like twice.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just make a duplicate of that. We're going to add a background. So, I mean, that looks okay, but say you wanted, for example, that pink background or whatever color background really. I don't want it behind my artwork because it's just going to mess everything up. So I'm going to copy that skull, like the entire artwork, I reckon we're just going to roll with it like that. I'm going to go Shift M because it's all vector. Maybe we just, click plus and it turns that into a shape. Okay, and now I'm going to select everything, deselect those background shapes, remove that, just because we had the background shape behind it as well.
Right.
Shift Command V to paste in place. And that's our artwork now without that. It's like cut away from the background.
Right, yeah.
So you can see it's like interacting. Background's a bit like meh, so we will graphic styles, appearance. Let's make a silly goose gradient.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left of silly
Oh my
goosing, or we're
goodness.
out of time, unfortunately.
We are not making a silly goose gradient. We're going to apply this gradient to it.
Cool.
No time for silly goosing. Okay, here we go. Appearance. Up here. There we go. So, and you can kind of mess around with that. Pull it around how you want to. But essentially, what we need to do from this point. Okay, yep. We're happy. The client signed off for some reason. They love it. Whoops.
For some reason.
I mean, it's not finished, but they love it. So who am I to fight them?
Yeah.
All right. So we need to. Next step for exporting is we want to rasterize. So you've got a copy of your artwork. And then to stop that little like black line around the edges, we're going to go transparent. And then under anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
Pronunciation. Don't know.
Spot on.
None. Right. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
None. And then so we go, okay. And suddenly it's gone from looking a little digital to those textures really come to life. So if I grab that and pull it back down so we can compare, it's like, yeah, okay, like I get it. There's a little faint line. If you try it, you'll see there's like that line behind it. And we come down here and it's just like the pixels are kind of really interacting a little bit more. It's been flattened, but in a way where it looks a bit more Riso as well. So yeah, that's where we got to.
That looks awesome.
We did it.
That's so good. You did it. It was super cool. I was just kind of mesmerized for that last 15 minutes. I should have given you a warning that we're almost near the end, but I was kind of
the time just went.
I was just following along. I was on for the ride like everybody else. Thanks. Bunch of folks in chat, I think, that were very impressed that you could do something like that in Illustrator. So yeah, well done. Definitely, as always, there's always little bits and pieces in there that I didn't know you could do either. And yeah, just a really fun drawing, and I really want my skull mug. So if anyone has a 3D printer out there.
I mean, I can get you one from like Vistaprint with the picture on the front. We can make it happen.
Just a $5 t-shirt. Yeah, it's really good. Excellent chat saying pretty good job. I love it. Yeah, thank you everybody. Yeah, it was really, really cool, Hannah. And if you like this stream, if you enjoyed this stream, go back and check out Hannah's stream from yesterday. Similar sort of, approach to an effect that is done in Photoshop. So the Riso effect in Photoshop, how to do it there, and 2 completely different ways to achieve this effect. Obviously, lots of different use cases for both. Hannah, incredible stuff. Just fantastic.
Fun.
Always a great time.
Yeah. I mean, I learned it all from the internet, so I can't take credit. But yes, bunch of fun, bunch of colors, a lot of silly goosing.
That's how we all learn everything. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, Hannah, and we look forward to having you back on Adobe Live again. Folks, if you have time, please stick around. We have another stream immediately after. We'll be jumping in to a bit more of an AI thing with Joe Chang. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Thank you, Hannah. It's been awesome.
See you next time.
Bye.